Welcome back. Today we're going to be covering a video sent to me on Twitter, a video directed towards women about women in the workplace, women in life and society and expectation. It's remarkably condescending. Now before we do that, I'm going to need a sandwich, and yes, that means you can thumb this video down, you cunt. Delicious. That was made for me by Darkling Studios. The video link is below along with the channel link. Please go subscribe. Also, and something I forgot to mention at the beginning, this art was made for me by Lynn Christensen. If you would like to see more fan art in future videos, I'm going to leave a pinned comment below this asking if you would like me to use more fan art. If you do, just write yes, if not, no, and I go to compile my next video. If the yeses have it, the next video will be a fan art video. Now let's get started, shall we?
Hi, I am Rachel.
My name is Sel.
My name is Chelsea.
Hi, my name is Jess.
And I am the Supreme Lord of Moist. Oh, and Sel, hi. I've done a video on you before, but you're so goofy and interesting. I feel it's right to give you a second go.
I can think of a couple situations where people have been surprised that I'm intelligent, and it's supposed to be a compliment, but it isn't.
It's assumed that I don't know what I know, despite knowing.
I like to shoot and edit in like technology, and I find that in a lot of kind of situations with predominantly men, like a lot of men talk down to you or are very condescending. It stops you from actually being able to ask questions. That means I won't learn. So it's kind of like everybody loses in that situation.
Ignoring the smug, yes, Jess, I mean you, and ignoring the floating head, yes, Sel, I mean you. The question reads, have you ever been underestimated as a woman? The person who wrote this at ASAPThought is implying that at some point you've been a man. Perhaps answer that instead, drawing on your experiences.
If a woman spoke out something that was intelligent in a group discussion, she could be seen as someone who sees herself as above others. I've seen this with a few different girls, and I think it's always made me shy away from opposing male opinions in class, especially.
What I got from that was, some people have some self-esteem issues that they need to address, and that I've managed to reaffirm my own hatred for that upper inflection at the end of each sentence you said.
Women have great opinions. It's strange that we're taught not to give our opinions.
Hashtag not all, and that applies to men and women. I find your vague sentencing to be really irritating, and if you're in any environment where a gender is being treated as lesser to the other, you're in a terrible society.
I think women feel like they have to protect themselves, and the easiest way to do that is to not speak as much, to kind of go with the flow, so you're not making any changes to your social group or your workplace, even if they really could be beneficial for everyone.
In my country, we have a female prime minister. She is the most powerful politician in the country. If in my country girls don't think they can aspire to be the best or speak up or be confident, when I've seen Theresa May stand at the dispatch box arguing, debating passionately about what she believes in, and people don't see this, or they see this and think they still can't, they have self-esteem issues.
I 100% have been thought of as aggressive. I think there's like ideas about what women should act like, and it's really frustrating because it's like all those things are very passive descriptions of femininity, which is irritating. So it's like you're always just gonna be aggressive. If you say like, hey, can you pass me that, instead of being like, excuse me, like if you have 5 spare moments, can you pass me that salt shaker? Like, I don't have time for that.
Okay, so 3 quick points from that. 1, that upper inflection is still doing my head in. You cannot finish a normal, regular, non-question sentence as if it is a question. 2, the whole argument about being polite, nice, lovely comes from the caregiver trait usually found in femininity. And 3, I would very much like to know what aggressive femininity really looks like.
I was really excited to work this job. I was shadowing a male coworker who had been there for a few years, and he really did not like the idea of me pitching ideas. He probably saw it as stepping on his toes, and I was actually fired after a few weeks because I was too aggressive to the male employees.
To be fair, you were shadowing somebody, and if you were pitching ideas and making them look bad, they're not going to give you a good review. Male or female, that's going to happen. It's a shame you didn't get the job, because if you had the job, you wouldn't be here making this video, making terrible arguments, and looking for any excuse, no matter how vague, to blame men for your own mistakes.
Am I talking over people? Should I be listening? Am I being too aggressive? Am I being too bossy? And it's something I worry about being. My mom is a really strong and wonderful woman, and who has definitely been called aggressive and bossy in a negative tone. And she's someone I admire and want to emulate, but that one part sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's not attractive.
Then perhaps I can offer you some advice. Simply put, ignore everyone else and think about you, and only you. If you say your mother is someone you look up to and you aspire to be like, you insult her by allowing your very low self-esteem issues to consume you. You can resolve this by just putting yourself first. Be selfish, or not selfish, because self-preservation is not inherently selfish, it is natural.
It is beneficial in one's life to be polite. Do you know what I mean? To be kind to others, to treat everyone with respect. But those are like human things, and they're not related to gender.
What?
To treat everyone with respect. But those are like human things, and they're not related to gender.
I just don't know what to say to that. It's fuck it, move on. Actually, no, we're going to address this. Are you trying to say that respect is a human concept and gender is not, which we all know isn't true, as it's been proven repeatedly that animals earn respect from each other? Or are you saying that gender is a social construct, which again is fucking confusing?
The issue is why I'm expected to do it all of the time.
Then don't. What other people think of you is irrelevant. It's all about you. It should only ever be about you. It's ridiculous. This is fucking stupid.
In my experience, it's the men in my life that I feel like I have to tiptoe around more. When I have something that I want to bring up, it's like, how can I bring this up to them in a gentle way, even with family, that's not going to hurt their feelings or emasculate them?
Yes, we've already ascertained you, the individual, have some extremely low self-esteem issues. So I'm going to cut out all future answers you give because, quite frankly, the self-deprecation is apparent.
No matter what, if you are speaking your opinion in a concise way as a female, even if you have a straight face, I find that you do have to sprinkle it with a smile, or else people are going to call you a bitch.
I find it very interesting that for a channel and company based in Toronto, you make all these assertions in a place that is considered social justice Mecca.
All of my male peers have always been taken more seriously. When in a lot of ways, I don't think that they read as much as the women that I know. And I think that they frankly spew a lot more bullshit than a lot of the women I know. And they get away with it. And it's just bred through confidence. So walking into a room, talking about their opinions, getting a good job, getting in with the right people. I notice a lot of smart women who aren't offered the same things.
As the question reads, how are men and women treated differently in their fields and careers? I can safely say not one of you can give an answer that truly reflects all the different types of fields and careers, and therefore the interactions between men and women and how they are treated in those careers. All you have is anecdotal evidence and the odd assertion or two, with some pomp, pretentiousness, condescension, and bitchiness.
There isn't this like overlord who's like, you are a woman, 70 cents on the dollar. You know what I mean?
Pay gap not real, and it's not you woman, you earn this. It's you woman, make me a sandwich.
It's more the way that we're socialized, right? So all the traits that are feminine are docile. So it's hard to ask for a raise or to demand your market value or higher. You're always taught to be as low-key as possible. And it's kind of frustrating because men are taught that aggression and strength and all these things are positive. It's a circle of behavioral patterns that men are taught, right? And some are to the detriment. But when it comes to money, it absolutely is an advantage.
I don't know what's more annoying. The earlier mentioned upper inflection, the jump cuts, the constant looking away to read off your script, or this horrible way you are trying to portray men as being more dominant and women as totally unable to be able to ask for things like a raise. If you have confidence issues, might I suggest going to groups? Might I suggest being proactive? Build your confidence by putting yourself out there. It's not rocket science. If you are taught to be that in Toronto, then clearly the type of social justice or social progress you guys push for has an adverse effect on people's ability to be confident because they're given victim complexes.
It's so hard. When you're a young girl, you walk this fine line of wanting to be attractive, beautiful, you want to be really well liked, you want to be smart but not too smart. It's tough, and intelligence will probably take you farther. That's how all the women CEOs of the world and people who are women that own companies get their power, is really by respect, and it takes a long time of being called a bitch. It's okay to not be liked.
Ignoring most of that, I want to focus on the bitchy element, because I remember the campaign not long ago to have the word bossy banned, a bitchy banned. Women being called bitchy is the same as men being called dicks, cunts, arseholes, bastards, so on and so on. If you have a male CEO and a female CEO, and they're both firing people, they're both going to get abuse regardless. How they take it is on them, and I'm sure in some way they are both hurt. Until they get to the bar and get absolutely smashed on a bottle more expensive than the person they fired's house.
Just think about how much better the world could be and can be if more women are at the top running it.
As long as they're qualified for the job, then there's no real problem whether they're male or female, but it does benefit other girls to know they can reach the top. That's not a good enough reason to vote someone in when they are an absolute criminal. And you guys have a male prime minister, maybe you should see about getting a female one. I mean, the UK has one, and it is current year.
Everyone should be a feminist. It's not a bad word.
People should be free to choose what they wish to label themselves as or associate with whatever movement they want to. The word feminist is not bad, but actions speak louder than words, and the actions have recently certainly done a lot of harm to the feminist movement. And when you look to people online, certainly the internet feminists, you don't see them doing so much to help feminists as much as they are trying to tear people down who argue against certain aspects of feminism that do not conform to a very equal society. Thank you all for listening.